I'm John Rhodes, first ship apprentice, a new apprentice.
So that was aboard the SS British Confidence?
MV Confidence, motor vessel.
Yeah, okay. So this is a quick video on behalf of Belinda Rowland, who's looking for you to answer some questions surrounding an accident that happened on the MV British Confidence on Monday the 23rd of June 1947. So whereabouts did the accident occur? Was it in front of the accommodation, behind the accommodation?
Oh no, the after well deck. There's two decks. Now forward well deck, bridge, after well deck, and then the engine room and all the cabins, crew accommodation.
So you were behind the bridge accommodation?
Yes.
Okay. How many tanks did the ship have that you were dealing with at the time?
Now, I don't remember the precise thing, but it made 10 or 12 tanks, and there's 3 across, so the actual compartments are about 30.
Okay. How many of them had you completed before the wave hit?
I'm not too precise, but I think we'd done all the forward ones and we were around on the after well deck, round about numbers 7, 8 tank.
Was it good visibility at the time of the accident?
Nothing noticeable.
Can you remember the size of the swell that was happening when the accident happened?
The swell was no problem. It wasn't coming aboard, but there we were working away with our backs to the sea, which is the problem. We weren't aware of this big wave coming until we heard it arriving on the deck.
Right, so you had no chance to
No.
To do anything to get out of the way of it then by the time you were aware of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there heavy seas prior to the accident?
Or nothing normal. Nothing abnormal.
Yeah.
It's a rough seas area, but the waves were not coming onto the deck until this one particular one arrived.
Okay. Once the wave hit you, you obviously got injured. What kind of injuries did you suffer?
Acquire?
Yeah.
Ribs right down was a serious one. The broken ribs went into the lungs. But Dr. Home said, I got no anything with all this. It'll cure itself, but you must be sensible.
Right. What do you remember about the other 2 people, the ones that were killed?
It was just that they were lying around, having been flattened by or so had I. We'd all been flattened.
Yeah. So did you spend much time?
I scrambled up. They didn't.
Right. So did you spend much time with these 2 guys before this accident, when you were just as part of the crew?
Time?
Did you spend time with these people, you know, prior to the accident?
Well, no,
apart from the fact you're in the same crew.
We were carted into the accommodation and put in separate rooms.
Right.
There was obviously some serious injuries.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember anything about how you got transferred to shore?
What?
Yeah, so did the ship go back towards shore, or did you get picked up by another ship and get taken in?
No, we did do Albany Harbour.
Yeah.
And I got into the pilot cutter or something like that. launch of some kind anyway.
But by that time you were able to walk.
Oh, I was still walking, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you remember Captain Hopper?
Yes.
Anything specific about him?
We all thought he was a clown. He pretended to be gentry for a start, you know, and liked to talk about riding and visiting stately homes.
Did you ever sail with him again?
No.
No. Do you remember anything about in Albany about Dr. Holmes or a Nurse Edith?
When you mentioned the name, I had forgotten the name, but there we are, you reminded me. Middle-aged, just a doctor-looking chap, white hair, and you know, he would tell you what's wrong with you. The nurse I don't remember. I know several nurses will be prowling about now.
Yeah. So after you'd got over these injuries and got back to the UK, you obviously carried on in a sailing career. Can you give a short summary of your shipping career after the accident?
Yeah. Albany, I forget whether it was 4, 5, 6 weeks I stayed in Albany, and it just so happened another BP tanker was in the area. So rather than waste money on airfares, I was sent by this tanker and told not to work in it. And then I was going to change in Abadan to one going back to Britain. And it just so happened the one came along the next day or next couple of days. So I got them all there and had to explain why I wasn't to work. And all agreed, yes, that's fine. But don't go up on the bridge and help the bridge staff, help to disturb their work.
Yeah. So basically just sail home.
Don't interfere, yeah.
So obviously you went back to work. You did have some medical checkups when you got back to the UK.
Returned, went to my normal doctor in Stroud, and it just so happened that when I told him how much leave I was due, he said, "Oh, that should do you."
Right.
But
So
he checked, you know, the bones were in the right place, and they were joined up again.
yeah. And after that, you obviously you went back to sea and had a career moving up the ranks, where you became captain in your own right, and sailed for a number of years that I can remember.
I was about 30 when I became master, and I came off again at 50, maybe in a year or two, one side or the other. Instead of being captain, I was made superintendent. Well, that particular company, they only had 3 superintendents for 50 odd ships. We were quite busy.
Mm-hmm. And that meant you were working onshore.
Onshore.
But visiting lots of ships every week.
Disappearing to the ships and trying to sort out problems, yeah.
Yeah.
And I found that rather hard work. And a job was obtained as safety man in the National Health in Scotland, no, in Glasgow. And did that for about 15 years, the last 15 years. It paid me better than the shipping company had been paying me. And of course it's far easier work 3 days a week.
All right. Okay. And just as we get to the end of this interview, can you tell us a bit more about your personal life? You got married in 1960.
1960, yes, that's right. If it's not 60, it's 61. That is pretty precise.
It was 1960.
Yeah.
And you had 4 sons.
4 boys, of whom I was very proud.
None of us went to sea.
I was delighted that you didn't.
So, okay, that I think is the end of the interview. We'll send this off to Belinda, and if she's got any more questions, she can come back. And
perhaps you can polish it. I haven't written that letter, I promised it yet.
Right, we'll get that.
My writing is getting much better. I really must get down to that.
Okay then, we'll finish for now. Say bye.
Bye.